Okay, let's do a little bit of a lesson on the distributive property. Okay, so I gave you a page before you walked out, a little booklet that you can make. I would write on the booklet before you cut it out. It's just a little easier to write on it that way. If you've already cut it out, no big deal, but I would write on it before. Now there's some other notes that go along with the booklet. I'm not going to put them on the video. I have great pictures of those that are going to be accompanying this on the lesson. So look at those pictures to get the rest of the notes. So when you get your page done, it's going to look like this. This is page, I believe, 30. Yep, it is page 30. Wow, already page 30. So this is page 30 of your INB. The booklet goes on the left. There's your I can statement and plenty of room to write. So let's get to work on the booklet. Now this is the flap that is right next to the one that says distributive property of multiplication. So the one with all the writing on there, that's over here. Okay, so it would come down this way and like that. Okay. So this is showing B minus C in parentheses. So, and then A is on the outside. So distributive means it can distribute. It can be spread out. So for example, if B was 21 and C was 10, and I had those in parentheses, and let's say that A is 3, I can distribute A to both of those even before I subtract. So if I did that here, it would be 63, and this one would be 30. So I would have 63 minus 30, which in this case is 33. Okay, and I could even do it, well, I'll try it again. Let's say I've got 14 minus 2 in there, and this would be 6. I can distribute that 6 out like this. So then it would be 84 minus 12, which would give me an answer of 72. So the distributive property means I can distribute even before I add or subtract. That multiplication distributes through there. Okay, next little flap. This is the one that is next to that. It says B plus C is equal to A. So this is the same side. The other flap we just did is right over here. Okay, but here we go. So I can do the same thing here. I can take, let's say I've got 3 plus 4 and I've got a 7 on the outside. I can take the 7 and I can distribute that 7 inside here and get 21 plus 28 and get a final answer of 49. Okay, it would be the same if I added 3 plus 4 and got 7 and multiplied it times 7. But I'm showing you the distributive property. I'm showing you can distribute it before you ever add or subtract. So let's say I've got a different problem. Let's say I've got 8 plus 6 right here. And I put a 3 on the outside. I can distribute the 3 first. So that would give me 24 plus 18, which happens to give me an answer of 42. So I can distribute first, or I could do 8 plus 6, which would give me 14, and multiply that times 3 and get 42. It's the same. The distributive property is just saying it doesn't matter which order I do that. I can either multiply first and then add or subtract in the parentheses, or I can add and subtract first and then multiply. So, moving to the back, if I turn it over to the back, there's one flap that says it can be glued down. This one has another flap that's connected to it somewhere like over like this. It'll be the next one that we do, but I'm only concentrating on this one. So even if I put the number in front of the parentheses, the same story holds true. I can still distribute it before I add or subtract. So this here would be 42, that would be 30, and I would get 72. Even if I change up the numbers, let's say I put a 10 and a 3 there, I can distribute first, and it really doesn't matter which order I distribute in, so I could get 70 and 21, and I'm still going to get an answer of 91. It doesn't matter the order. Oh, I just got rid of one of my little icons there. I'll bring that back later. Okay, so there's that flap done. Your final flap, which looks like this. Same story. I could do this. As long as the operations in the parentheses are add and subtract, doesn't matter. So this would be 60 minus 30 after I distribute, and I would get 30. And let's say I've got 2, and let's say I've got 18 here, minus 9. If I distribute first, so 2 times 18 is 36, plus 2 times 9 is 18. So 36 minus, that should be minus 18. So 36 minus 18, well, that is going to be 18 still. Okay, so those are the notes that go on your little flaps of your book. The rest of them I've got pictures of. Complete the page, bring it back, and we'll work a little bit on the distributive property tomorrow in class. Have a good evening.